Now time for our Cubs upcoming game schedule, brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Plan your fun today at travelwisconsin.com. We're not in Wisconsin, but we are out east or back east. That's one of those conversations you can have for an hour. Is it out east or back east if you're in the Midwest? Phillies, Braves, Nationals. National League East trip. The paw trip. Elvis Araujo.
Araujo, big dude, man. Listen, at 6'7", 274. Fastball, slider. Once in a great while, a changeup. From Maracaibo, Venezuela. Second year with the Phils.
Oh, 2. Yeah, my thought was if you're in the Midwest, you could say out east or out west. Others have.
Yeah, I was thinking out west, back east.
Right, and I've had that thrown in my face, and I guess I'm cool with that. Yeah. I don't know why.
People are particular about that usage. Yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes. We're going to save the presidential trivia, the rest of it, I think, for DC. That'd be most appropriate, right? Third hit of the night for Fowler. He's 3 out of 4.
Good work from the right side tonight. Fowler came into this game batting .288 as a right-handed batter. Better from the left side this year, which runs against what he has done throughout his career. So all these ABs off left-handed pitching lately starting to pay off. Pretty much without fail, as soon as the base runner gets on, the Phillies throw to first.
Line shot homer off the starter Morgan. His 3rd of the year. And he clubs one to deep center this time, and it's caught by Borges. Gets out to 409, just to the left of straightaway center. And now it's Chris Bryant.
It's close to a balk. Front foot looked like it went straight down as opposed to towards first base. That one a little less so. That one looked okay to me, and of course my opinion doesn't matter a whole lot.
Sure it does. Matters to me. I guess Bryant missed that pitch.
Beautiful swing here on a pitch out away from him. This is the one where the fan reached over. Long debate, long review as to whether it was a home run or not. Turns out fan interference, and he was granted a double.
All right, we may have to do one last presidential thing.
Okay.
Because one particular tweeter keeps guessing Grover Cleveland. So we need to come up with a question that has Grover Cleveland as the answer. So he gets it right. Down the right field line, but it's going to land foul.
Yeah, but it's got to have a baseball hook. Well, you could talk about go for Cleveland Alexander.
Right. I was just thinking we could make it real simple. Who was the 22nd and 24th president of the United States?
I'm going to go with Grover Cleveland.
You would be right. And if you guessed that on Twitter, you're right. Missed inside. It's 2-2.
Rajo has worked a high walk rate throughout his career, both as a minor leaguer and his time in the big leagues last year with the Phillies and again this year.
There you go. Pete Alexander, right?
Yep.
Runner goes. That ball lined into right for a base hit. Fowler gliding to third.
Cannot define Chris Bryant as a slugger. He's a real good hitter with the ability to slug. Rajo got squeezed a little bit there by Vic Carapazzo, the home plate umpire. Anthony with a couple of pop-ups and a punch-out tonight, but one of the pop-ups turned into a base hit first time up.
Rizzo just got a piece of it. All right, Ryan gives us a great hook, and we can put closure on the presidential baseball trivia. Grover Cleveland's daughter was named Ruth. You know that the Baby Ruth candy bar was named after her.
That's right.
And that company that made that candy bar was based in Chicago, just down the street from Wrigley. Base hit, Anthony Rizzo. Here comes Fowler, and it's 4-0 Cubs in the 7th. Second hit for Rizzo.
Well, ditto what I said about Bryant with Rizzo. Just a really good hitter who has the ability to slug, and he displays it yet again off a lefty who, you know, it's some tough angles with this big dude out there. Rizzo just reaches out and punches that ball to the left. Look at Rupp. Look at his reaction behind home plate. I can't believe it. Watch the catcher. I mean, they make the pitch they want to make. Rupp's like, I can't believe it. You've got to be kidding me. That's the value of Rizzo standing on top of home plate, and he reach pitches well off the outside edge.
Top 4 hitters in the Cubs lineup combined 8 for 15. A balk has been called on Araujo. You thought a balk earlier, possibly. Eventually it happened, but not for the reason you stated.
Yeah, I thought his move to first base was a little suspect. I'm not sure exactly what he did here.
Yep.
The flinch. I hate that rule.
Yeah. There are some who think the balk rule should go away completely. Infield in and a strike on Caesar.
To me,
that doesn't feel deceiving, does it?
No, nothing there. He's trying to deceive a base runner.
Nicely executed. 5-0.
Caesar, a very good bunter. We've seen him bunt for base hits. We've seen him bunt for a base hit with 2 strikes earlier this year.
He will get a sacrifice out of it and an RBI.
And again, the athletic ability of Bryant. Any big guys are going to be able to score on a play like this. Pretty athletic play for the big lefty. Mentioned 6'7", 270.
Rizzo also advances to third, and still only 1 out, and Baez takes ball 1. 2 in to make it a 5-run lead.
Might be tempted to do it again.
A tapper that looks like a bunt too, and the flip to the plate. Out. Wow.
Pretty agile, isn't he, the big fella?
That
was pretty slick. No way was he going to make that play.
And Joe may want another look at it. That was very tight play and is rough all right. He gets spiked.
Bare hand, gets a little steam on that flip.
Was he in the lane? They got the out. I mean, being somewhat facetious, but so no replay review coming. Russell now with men at first and second.
This is the 4th game between these 2 teams this year. So far, the Cubs have outscored the Phillies 22-5. Mets rained out tonight, so a Cub win tonight would make them a full 10 games better than the second place Pirates.
Swing and a miss to end the frame. Cubs add 2. Stretch time in Philadelphia. Cubs 5, Phillies 0.
Honda knows in today's hectic world, it's good to leave everything behind. But when it comes to your car, you want to get everything you can. It's why we put a multi-angle rear view camera, text message reader, and dual zone climate control standard in every 2016 Accord, with a redesigned body to match. Nothing compares to a Honda. The restyled Accord, the best-selling car in America.
We built this thingy. We built this thingy on tech that's old. We built this thingy. But we built.
Yeah, Xfinity built this newer thingy that lets me search with my voice.
We're good.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Find shows faster with the X1 voice remote, only from Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
Every night, get ready for the most dynamic show in Chicago. Your city, your teams, your show. This is Sportsnet Central tonight after Post-Game Live, presented by GMC.
He's Addison Russell, the shortstop, number 27, world-class defender, RBI machine. Cubs, Phillies, Wednesday at 11:30 on CSN.
Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Join the Cubs season ticket holder waiting list. Do it today. Claim your spot in our lineup for season tickets. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Cub fans enjoying their time here in Philadelphia as John Lester gets ready for the bottom of the 7th.
Big fella on cruise control. Has retired 13 in a row.
Joseph, Franco, and Rupp for the Phillies. Curve at 70.
Yeah, he's been using that slow curve a little bit more tonight. So he'll get over 0-0, drop it in there for strike one, but he's used it in deep counts too.
On the ground and into left. First hit since the 2nd for the Phillies. 4 hits in all. They've all been singles. They've had 1 runner reach second base. That's it.
Joseph hit that deep drive to left field first time up that pinned Soler up against the wall. Pretty good looking hitter.
Franco 1 for 2. Angels and Yankees tied at 2-2 in the 8th in the Bronx. Orioles have a 3-1 lead over Kansas City in the 8th in Baltimore. The Royals just got swept in a 4-game series in Cleveland, so they're a game and a half behind the surging Indians. Detroit pummeling Toronto 9-0 in the 7th in Detroit. Astros have come back. It's 4-4 in the 4th in Texas.
A former kid pitching for the Tigers tonight has the shutout going through 6. He flirted with a no-no a start or 2 ago.
Trevor Bauer for the Indians tonight in Seattle against the Mariners. Fouled back. Tyler Chatwood with a 2.99 ERA for the Rockies will face Mike Bolsinger tonight in Los Angeles.
He was on the wins above replacement leaderboard I was checking out the other day. I guess if you got a sub-3 ERA and you do your pitch at Coors Field for your home ballpark, you're going to be among the league leaders.
be 2. 5-4 to 3.
Handy, sharply hit. Gives everybody all kinds of time. No need to hurry for either Bryant or Baez.
Jason Hayward in right. Still drifting. He's got it. Inning over. All Cubs tonight. 5-0 as we go to the 8th from Philly.
Smooth to the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
Know you're budgeted for the expected and the unexpected. Know that at least the process of buying a new home can be clear and simple. Know your investments can make retirement closer than you think. Know the one word behind all the guidance we provide, tools we create, and services we offer. Because when you have insight, you know.
Call you back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong.
What a day!
But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help. Get an 11% rebate on everything in the store, including thousands of sale items. Tackle big cleaning jobs with big savings on our entire selection of commercial quality cleaning supplies from Libman. Clean up with an 11% rebate on all mops, brooms, brushes, and everything else in the store. Even sale prices now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Smooth to the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
John Lester with a gem so far tonight. Right-hander Andrew Bailey will work here in the 8th inning.
Bailey on for the 18th time, 3-0 with a 324. Started the year at AAA. Pitched pretty well since joining the big club. That happened back on April 20th when James Russell was designated for assignment.
He was an all-star. Bailey was in Oakland his first 2 seasons in the majors and the rookie of the year in the American League in 2009.
Did not pitch in 2014. Surgery. What's that cutter, boy? 93 with a little short little cutting action. That's a good weapon. So he tries to come all the way back. At Oakland, he was a guy that was kind of sit around 94 miles an hour.
Breaking ball on the ground. Galvis from short gets it. Well, if you missed it earlier, Jorge Soler had to leave the game due to injury. He had a really good game, but only played about 3 innings. Took away extra bases here on a deep drive off the bat of Tommy Joseph in the first inning. Ended up going 2 for 2, but on his second hit that went to the wall, that left hamstring grabbed him, and we do not know the severity of the injury at this point, but he came out of the game for a pinch runner. Fourth at bat for John. Healthy rip. 0-2.
Doubled and scored in the fourth and hit the ball deep to left field last time up.
He's got that look. You know, he's got this bet with John Lackey, and I think he's thinking this is one of those ballparks.
Got his mojo going here tonight.
Yeah.
Able to check on the curveball.
Whatever the bet is, it's who hits the most home runs. And whoever hits one may win. Araujo and now Bailey. Called strike 3.
The best way to get to Wrigley Field is by using public transportation. The Cubs offer a free bike check that's located by the Addison Red Line station. For drivers, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com.
Fowler takes a strike. Did that hit the bat? Got part of his hand.
I did not. That's why I haven't seen anything from Carapazza. He's going to ask for help.
Yep. Deals where I'm sure the ball caught both the bat and his hand. It's just a matter of what it hit first, and Fowler has been given first base.
Andrew Bailey arguing that the ball hit the bat.
McCannon challenging, it looks like. Our Foresight Technology replay review. How do you overturn this one?
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah. Can you get a slow enough frame by frame look? I mean, the thing that gave me a little pause was Dexter was a little late to react. But you see his hand down off the knob of the bat there, and I'm pretty sure it probably got a little bit of both, as you said.
Well, the review is over. That was quick. They're done. Did they even put the
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. This is funky.
Okay.
This whole game has had a weird vibe to it.
22nd look. They probably called New York, and New York said, "You're on your own on this one." Ruling confirmed. So here's Hayward.
That's one. There's the automatic throw over. Yeah, I think that's one where if you're the review guy in New York, you're like, I could look at that 100 times and not be able to tell you one way or the other. Move on.
So Fowler and Hayward have been hit tonight 39 times this year as a team, leading the majors.
Hayward's home run came on a slider that was out away from him, but on the plate. Last time up, probably even a better swing as he drove the ball deep to center field.
Fouled off and just out of play. Let's get our hefty home run. The hefty off the lefty.
Fourth home run by the Cubs off of Adam Morgan. They got 3 against him in his start at Wrigley. Chris Bryant just missed one back in the first.
Runner goes, bounce to first, foul.
This is also the anniversary of the rain in Houston. 1976, when it rained so hard the streets were flooded, they couldn't play the game because the fans couldn't get to the ballpark. The umpires, I don't think, were able to get there. The teams were there. They threw a barbecue on the field for the Pirates and the Astros. But apparently, I was just reading, some resourceful fans canoed to the Astrodome to get a rain check.
Wow. Hayward held. On appeal, Carlos Torres made the call. So it's 3-2.
Honey, hop in the boat. We're going to the ballpark.
Fowler runs. Hayward chops slowly to first. Joseph to the bag. Inning over. Bottom 8. It's the Cubs 5 and the Phillies nothing.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Bill Jacobs Mini online feedback.
The most amazing car buying experience ever.
Customer service was excellent. I'd recommend them in a heartbeat.
Great experience.
Right now at Bill Jacobs Mini, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on all 2016 Mini Countrymen. That's Bill Jacobs Mini.
Honestly, the best experience I've ever had buying a car.
Visit us at Bill Jacobs Mini in Naperville
and online at BillJacobsMini.com.
The Drive and Discover event is here at Feeney Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin. Get our lowest prices on our entire inventory. Cars, trucks, minivans, and more Jeeps than we need. All with 0% financing available. Look at this 2016 Wrangler, just $299 a month. Or a 2016 Ram 1500 Quad Cab, $299 a month. Both with zero due. Or this 2016 Dodge Caravan, only $16,997. Find it at Feeney. FeeneyAutos.com.
Hey there, Luke Stuckmeyer in our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Welcome to this Sportsnet Central update. Coming up later tonight, we will preview the White Sox series against the Nationals. That begins tomorrow night. Plus, the Bears now have their entire draft class under contract, while Steph Curry says he won't play in this year's Summer Olympics. It's all coming your way later tonight on Sportsnet Central. But now back to Len and JD in Philadelphia.
All right, Luke, thank you. Wednesday morning, the Cubs will face the Phillies to wrap up this season series. Tune in at 11:30 for Cubs pregame live. It's presented by Fields Auto, only on CSN Chicago.
Breakfast and a ball game. It'll be John Lackey and Vince Velasquez.
Hendricks and Eichhoff tomorrow night.
Slow curveball again from Lester to get started here.
Justin Grimm, it looks like, is up in the Cubs bullpen, but I tell you, Lester with 86 pitches, incredibly efficient.
He's allowed one base runner since the second inning, and that was Joseph's leadoff single last inning. That was cleaned up with a double play ball to third base. Goodell is the brother of Eric Goodell, pitcher.
Eric with a K.
Eric with a K. His dad, David, is a biotech industry pioneer who developed synthesized insulin.
Wow. Eric is at AAA in the Mets chain. Up to 41 major league appearances previous 2 years. Eric is 27. Tyler 23.
Phillies got Tyler Goodell from the Rays in the Rule 5 draft. Played AA ball last year, hit 12 home runs, drove in 72.
Lester will run it halfway and underhand the rest to Rizzo. One out. Here's Peter Borges.
Just bunt single first time. Last time up with the infield pulled in, or the corners pulled in. It looked to me like he was really trying to get that top hand, trying to pull the ball past Bryant. Ended up getting underneath one and popping up to short.
All right, so get in Joe's head here a little bit. 113 pitches, season high in his last start. He went all 9. Is he inclined to let him finish this game if he can be really quick here to get these last 2 outs, or not so much?
Well, let's take a look. 113, the start before 105. He hasn't had a lot of high pitch count outings.
He will have an extra day.
Score
with the Thursday day
that
off.
Sweet spot right now at 5-0.
Swing and a miss. 2 down. Hendricks went 8 in his start after the complete game.
I would say if I were Joe and the Cubs didn't score in the top of the 9th, I'd run him back out there. If the Cubs scored another run or two, then I'd probably turn it over to the bullpen, because just you always manage against the worst case scenario. And even though 5-0 lead, especially with this Philly lineup, the way they've performed this year and the way they look tonight, you still manage against the worst case scenario, and you always play that what if game. And you're hesitant to pull a pitcher who's in complete control of the ball game.
Yeah, and he did just what we prescribed, so he'll be under 100 pitches through 8 on just 4 hits. 5-0.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
I solemnly swear that my KFC $20 fill-up will fill your family of 4 up with 8 pieces of delicious original recipe chicken and sides. It's a meal that's freshly prepared every day. Court adjourned. Colonel quality guaranteed.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at today's action. Using all-wheel control, they're moving with such confidence over this terrain. The new 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Make your drive a sport.
Come in now and get $500 cash back and 0% APR.
Not the vast frozen plains or a wall of mountains. Nothing would get between him and what he was after. Some called him obsessed. We call him Mr. Coors. And the pure Rocky Mountain water he hunted down is still used to brew the beer that bears his name. Coors, the banquet beer.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to buy a new gym bag. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. 2% back at grocery stores and now at wholesale clubs. And 3% back on gas. Kenny used his Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card to join the Wednesday Night League because he loves to play hoops, not jump through them. That's the excitement of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Get ready for an exciting Cubs finish. Brought to you by New Finish Car Polish and the #1 rated scratch remover, Scratch Doctor.
Host your best customers and guests in a private suite at Wrigley Field. The Nuveen Investment Suites can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 55, include food, all you can drink beverages, and parking. To book your premier experience for a game or a concert, visit Cubs.com/premier.
The pitcher for the Phillies, Brett Oberholzer.
Oberholzer has been plagued by the long ball. 24 1/3 innings, he's allowed 9 home runs.
Got an evil ERA.
He does. It's demonic. Got a good changeup. Averaging almost a strikeout per inning. The walk total is pretty high, and again the home runs, man.
That might stay fair. No, hit the lip of the grass and kicked foul. Cubs looking to get their first 10-game division lead since late 2008. Pirates rained out tonight. They were 9.5 out to start it. Yanks one deep to left. Off the wall. On his way to second, he's got a double, and he's been an inch away a couple of different times from a 2-homer game. As it is, he's 3 out of 5. Wow. Right at the top of the pad.
Yeah, just misses number 14, and could have had 14 earlier in the ball game. Keep trying to beat him with inside fastballs, and proves time and time again how quick he is. Here's the one from his first plate appearance back in the first inning.
Yeah, that one was a little closer, right at the top of that railing. This one hit the top of the padding.
Just one more spoonful of cheese whiz on that steak sandwich, and he's got 2 long ones.
Rizzo takes a strike.
That's the thing with Bryant, because he covers the outside pitch so well, and because he handles breaking stuff and lays off chase breaking pitches, the pitcher's trying to find a hole, and understandable that they would take a shot up and in with a fastball. And, you know, he can be beat in there, but he gets to that pitch quite often.
A really good night for 1 through 5, except for the Soler injury, but he had 2 hits before he got hurt. Rizzo looking for his 3rd. Bryant's got 3. Hayward with a homer. Fowler has 3 hits.
Yeah, and the other thing, we talk about the pitching, the bats coming to life here tonight. Defensively, the Cubs have played really good baseball all year long, and this hot stretch at home, real clean too. I think one game where they made a couple errors, but other than that, very tight.
Happy birthday wishes, Amanda Wallace, Aurora, Illinois, rooting on the Cubs. Back home. Congrats to Cubs minor league right-hander Jake Buchanan, named the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Week. 2-0 last week. The I-Cubs are hot. They went into tonight's game against Memphis having won 9 in a row, and they're in first place in their division. Drilled into center and a base hit. Bryant will score. Rizzo's got his 3rd hit. 6-0.
First hit for Anthony tonight was a fluky one, a little pop-up, but the last 2 very good. He went out of the zone last time to punch a single in the left, and a good solid line drive here.
And negotiations have begun. We talked about whether the Cubs score or not could affect whether Lester gets a chance to finish.
And they may, you know, he's got a chance for a shutout here too, and that may have been the conversation you want to go for. They might have given him the option.
Well, caught by Paredes. If he lost it in the lights or what, but able to recover at the last second.
Yeah, it's weird because there's been a few balls we've seen outfielders throughout this game react to balls like this. It doesn't appear to be a real windy night. The flags are blown a little bit.
So remember in spring training when we were doing our over-unders and asking all the questions, who's going to lead the team at homers? I said Chris Bryant. So he and Anthony Rizzo tied with 13 apiece. Bryant with his 41st RBI tonight. Rizzo with 41 and 42. It's going to be a really good race. we got going here? What are we yelling at?
Trying to get the bullpen to call in because apparently they can't call out.
Landline technology. It's low. Two.
And a rough night at the plate for Baez. 0 for 4. He struck out with the bases loaded in the first. Looks like he's trying to put a big swing on one here to get a little redemption.
Short lead by Rizzo. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. The bat ends up in left field. Baez strikes out.
We saw it earlier with Galvez. Galvez fooled by the changeup, slinging his bat into the crowd. This time Baez way out in front of that let up from Oberholzer. You could enter those lumberjack games.
It's pretty impressive.
Long toss, yeah, it's good distance.
That ball turned on by Russell, and he hit it foul. Right center, and again Paredes battling the lights as he makes the catch. So we will head to the
Cubs
bottom
baseball
of the
on
ninth.
CSN Chicago.
And the Cubs lead this one 6-0.
Girl Cindy took advantage of Lowe's worry-free 30-day satisfaction guarantee on appliances. So it looks like it's out with the old and in with the new, huh, Cindy? Ain't no thing. I don't need no fancy ice dispenser. Whoa, 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 where are we going? Where are they taking me? Yeah, upgrade, baby. That's what I'm talking about, Cindy. Mm-hmm. This stainless steel feel good on me.
They say an old-fashioned is served in a 10-ounce glass with a maraschino cherry and an orange slice. Actually, it's served in a room with a brick fireplace and a deer head mounted on the wall by a waitress named Diane. This is a Wisconsin supper club. When you're having fun, we're having fun.
Only 2 weeks into the new membership. And you're already strong enough to spot the huge guy. A little goodness is the beginning of greatness. Whole nuts, real fruit with dark chocolate. Introducing Goodness Knows.
T-Mobile hit it out of the park. We doubled our LTE coverage to cover over 305 million Americans. And our new extended range LTE goes 2 times farther and works 4 times better in buildings than before. Switch to T-Mobile for major league coverage today.
It will be Justin Grimm to try to close out the Phillies tonight. 8 shutout innings, no walks, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts for the lefty John Lester. So he's a pitcher of record. And here's Grimm in a non-save situation.
So 6 must have been the magic number. When it was 5-0, it looked like Lester was going to go back out there after that 6-run score. I saw that shot of Chris Bosio talking to John, and I'm guessing, this is simply a guess, that Joe said, hey, go down and talk to him. Tell him I want to save some bullets here, but if he wants to go back out there, I'll let him go. And John probably said, you know what? If you guys are good, I'm good.
Or they asked him why he pulled the plug from the phone.
Could be that, too. It's one way to make sure the bullpen doesn't get the call. Take the phone off the hook.
Andres Blanco, ex-Cub, will lead it off for the Phillies. Switch batter batting lefty.
So 19 strikeouts, no walks for John Lester in his last 2 starts. 17 innings, a total of 8 hits and 1 run.
What would your buddy Larry David say?
Pretty good.
1-1.
You think Blanco and Franco hang out?
Yeah, why not? Hit hard and into center. Leadoff single. Cesar Hernandez. Foul tip, strike 1 on 95. Strike 2.
Surprised Blanco hasn't taken second base. Anthony Rizzo's playing well behind him.
No chance for 2 here, but just get it out. Can't. Ball was hit softly. Hernandez was running fast, and it's an infield single.
Hernandez hit a ball deep to center field to the wall last time up for an out. This time a little slow roller on the infield turns into a knock.
Phillies trying to rally here, down 6 in the ninth. And the pitch to Galvis is hit to deep right, and a 3-run homer. It snaps an 0 for 22.
Crazy game. Impressive swing of the bat by Galvis. Home run number 6 for him. Middle in fastball at 95 miles an hour. Short, quick, compact swing. An insurrection here in Philly.
Our fourth home run replay. So pitching change here in the ninth. 6-3 Cubs.
Jack, you got to try the sandwich from Subway. It's better for you and delicious.
Can't be both.
Well, you don't believe me?
We're used car salesmen. Of course I don't believe you.
What's it going to take to get you into this sandwich?
Throw on the chips.
Let me check with our manager.
At Subway, our new premium chicken is raised without antibiotics. Try it today in our sweet onion chicken teriyaki or rotisserie style chicken. Both raised without antibiotics. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Hangry Hacks.
Are you okay, Miss Jacobs?
No talking during the test!
Because we're going to watch a movie instead. You like slasher films.
Hack your hangry with Jack Links, the protein-packed way to feed your wild side.
At Discount Tire, we'll get you the right tire at the lowest price for your vehicle. Get a $70 Visa prepaid card when you buy any set of 4 Michelin tires.
This year, my family didn't want to fight the crowds, so we went to Blue Harbor Resort. There was a huge indoor water park, plus there's the beach. Dad took us sailing on this cool boat, and we even had a bonfire. This is the best vacation ever.
See, Weber sauces and his seasoning called to the bullpen. Ball grilling flavor up to the bigs.
Well, here comes Hector Rondon. We didn't anticipate seeing him in this ball game, but it is indeed a safe situation. 3-run lead, 9th inning, nobody out. 0.98 ERA for Hector.
So 3 outs to go, 3-run lead. This is a safe spot, which is amazing to say. Just a couple of minutes ago, it was 6-0.
And as soon as Blanco reached, Joe got him up. He's not throwing with any urgency initially.
Strike to Joseph. Well, it has been no drama Hector for the first 2 months. He's thrown a ton of strikes, gotten quick outs. Phillies have 1 extra base hit in this game, and that was the Galvis homer. 1 and 2.
Number 6 for Galvis. The most he had ever hit in a year was last season when he had 7 for the full year.
Poke foul. Deep to center. Fowler still going back. It's gone. It's 6-4. On a 1-2 offering, Joseph takes Rondon deep.
We were talking earlier about the Phillies not having any 4-run innings until yesterday. Here's another one this evening. It comes at the most unlikely of times, in an evening when they've been completely shackled, showing no signs of any life at all. That slider just got away from Rondon. A cement mixer right in the happy zone.
Ford home run replay. Back-to-back homers for the Phillies. 2-run ball game. Ball 1 to Franco. Now Strop is up. Swing and a miss.
Second home run allowed by Rondon this year, just the 3rd run allowed by Hector.
Toward first on the ground foul. Broken bat bouncer to Chris Bryant, who backhands and throws to first. Rupp 0 for 3. That's a strike. Single, homer. 4 quick runs to get the Phillies within 2 with 2 outs to go.
Good pitch. Control the moment. That's the key for guys like Rondon working in these high leverage situations.
2 down as he strikes out Rupp.
Just got to continue to try to make pitches. Don't get caught up in the adrenaline and overthrow. Make sure you locate, and he did that beautifully to Rupp. He's 7. Well placed.
Odubel Herrera not in the lineup tonight. He had 4 hits yesterday. And by far Pete Maccannon's best option because he's been an on-base machine. And look at that. A lob wedge single to get the tying run to the plate, and it's going to be Ryan Howard. So there will be some drama here in the 9th inning. Ryan Howard has been a big story this year here in Philadelphia. Unfortunately for him, not in the way he would want it. He's batting .151. He's lost playing time to Tommy Joseph. It looks like his Phillies career is nearing its end. We've got a team option for next year, but that'll end up being a buyout. And Chris Bosio out to the mound. The entire infield is out there as well.
Just 22 hits in 146 at-bats. But 8 of those hits have been home runs, so he still has that.
From 2006 to 2011, he averaged 44 homers a year. Hit hard, but on a hop knocked down by Rizzo. He'll take it to the bag. Cubs win. Whew. Cubs hang on. 6-4, the final.
What a relief. It appeared to be a very easy win. Got very sketchy there at the end, but ultimately able to pull it out. Howard got a good swing, hit the ball hard. Anthony didn't know he had it initially, and then races to the bag for the 27th out.
Cubs have a 10-game lead in the division. First time since September 22nd, 2008. Yeah, I guess the way that game started, it probably
it was a weird night. Yeah, a lot of weird things going on. And, yeah, a weird end, but a good ending for that man right there. But you know, his heart rate had to go up a little bit in the ninth.
No doubt. Well, the toast of the game, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, goes to John Lester.
Brilliant yet again tonight was John Lester. Didn't quite have as sharp a curveball, as hard as a curveball as he did in his start against the Dodgers, but still very effective. 8 shutout innings, 4 hits, no walks, struck out 9. Oh yeah, he did that too. Doubled and scored a run. This Cub rotation just continues to roll along.
Binny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. So we're back on the air here on CSN Wednesday morning at 11:30 for our pregame coverage as the Cubs and Phillies wrap up this series. We have more to come. Stay right where you are. Blue Cross Blue Shield postgame live is next. Final score once again, Cubs 6, Phillies 4.
Well, it got a little bit more tense than we were expecting it to be in this 9th inning, but the Cubs come away with another win. They have now won 11 of 13. Luke Stuckmeyer and Todd Hollinsworth in our Cubs postgame live studios. We're getting ready for the postgame show, and boy, John Lester was great.
Oh, he's absolutely outstanding. Set the stage, let the offense do its thing. Again, it feels like the script that we talk about. John Lester pitching great baseball, giving the offense every opportunity. The top of this lineup tonight gets a great job done. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Dexter Fowler, all getting it done, working consecutively, working off each other. Bryant getting on base, Rizzo driving him in, turning it over to John Lester. As you said, got a little dicey there at the end, but you know what? A win is a win.
Lester, 9 strikeouts, no walks, second straight game. First time a Cubs pitcher has done that since Rich Harden. Wow. Cubs postgame live presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Coming up next, I'm filling in for the Cat Man. We'll talk about that later, too.
The power of NBC5 Investigates now makes a bigger impact for you. NBC5 responds.
If you have a consumer complaint, we want to hear it. I'm Lisa Parker.
Our team is ready to help you.
No phone call, email, or question unanswered. NBC5 responds.
Researching your concerns, recovering your money, and resolving your consumer complaints. Call us at 844-NBC-RESPONDS or email NBC5responds@NBCUNI.com.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime, and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with 0 due at signing and 0 first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on RAV4. Toyota. Let's go places.
Take me by the hand. Come with me to the future.
Chrome. And now Chrome Intense, the new men's fragrance by Azzaro.
Nobody should go to bed hungry.
That's where our friends at Benny's Beverage Depot are going to bat for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's donates $100 to help feed hungry families in Chicagoland.
That calls for a toast.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Audi. Truth in engineering. Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Hit hard, but on a hop knocked down by Rizzo. He'll take it to the bag. Cubs win.
Cubs keep it rolling on the road. The road trip starts with a positive note. 6-4 win over the Phillies after an 8-2 homestand at Wrigley Field. The Cubs with their 40th win of the season. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield alongside Todd Hollinsworth. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. We have a little business to take care of.
We have a special edition of fist bumps tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, we're not going to do it the normal way. Cap is with after a tough day of golfing where he's been worn out. And I've got the fist and, hey, little buddy. See how the little buddy? Now, if folks want to tweet into @Luke Stuckmeyer or Todd Hollinsworth on Twitter, we get 100 of those. I will smash the bobblehead before the end of the show. So that is how we're going to start things off. 100 tweets, I will smash the bobblehead on the show.
Start them up.
All right, great job by John Lester. Let's take a look right away at our UPS store, taking care of business player of the game, because it's certainly Lester. Back-to-back great starts. He just continues what the rotation has been doing.
Oh, a great performance tonight. And what really stood out to me was his ability to trigger the hitting zone, to trigger the go zone is what I like to call it with the hitters. And that's just it. Look at where all these pitches are. Now, that's a take right there, and this is an easy throw out. But as the game went on, you saw him use the middle of the plate and down in the zone, that go zone as I talk about, and exploit it, particularly with the slider and the low fastball. You see it right there. That's the go zone. That's what I'm talking about. We watched this all night long, elevated occasionally with some purpose, but that's what he exploited tonight. Once he got the lead going up against this Phillies lineup, they were swinging, that's what they were attacking, and that's what he was feeding them. This wasn't a situation where you saw 92, 93 out over the plate and low in the zone. You saw slider after slider, fastball away, just repeatedly working the low corners and continuing to get ground ball outs and strikeouts tonight. No walks, 9 punch outs, and that's just it. That's some of the toughest pitches we talk about laying off as hitters. When you can get a hitter to recognize out of hand a ball that you believe is going to be in the strike zone or out over the plate, you want to swing at that. And then, again, we talk about it in other terms, late movement. It's what John Lester had working tonight. So much late movement at the plate. Ball in the zone, ball out of the zone, swings and misses and bad contact.
Thought he might be getting his second straight complete game. We'll get to that decision in a minute, but now he's on 16 straight innings without a run here. Great performance, as you mentioned. And Joe Maddon's also talked about how, hey, this is the second season now with the Cubs. The comfort level is there. It's different than it was, and it started all the way in spring training. He felt it coming into this season. It was going to be different.
We talk about it. Baseball players talk about it in every way, shape, and form. Routine. We are all about routines. We like to eat the same thing. We like to wake up at the same time, do things the same way when we get to work, get to the ball yard, and do things that way. And John Lester, last year was a year of transition as he came to Chicago, kind of nailed down his spot in this rotation, felt out the crowd, felt out Wrigley Field, felt like what it was like to wear the uniform every day. All of those things are a first for a player, even though he was in the middle of his career. Now he is settled in. This is his team. He's been on this team. They won last year. They accomplished an awful lot, and he's a big reason why they're going to win again this year. But that's just it. You start to kind of get into your routine, including your wife and your children. I mean, all of it has to make sense.
Be interested to see what Joe Maddon has to say. I thought he was coming out for the 9th inning. He had 95 pitches. Seemed like he had hardly broken a sweat in this game, but decided to take him out with a 6-run lead.
Well, I'm not the manager. I mean, again, this is communication between Joe Maddon. I mean, if you're asking me my opinion, yeah, he goes back out. I don't see why not. I mean, again, that's just it. When I see a guy in a rhythm when he's at 96 pitches where John was at, I can easily make the case that he should stay in the ball game. But that's a conversation that we're not privy to. Clearly, there was communication going on in the dugout. Go in, go back. I'm good. I'm done. I'm taxed. Whatever it is, we don't know the answer to right now. But 96 pitches and what John has done this year and the groove that he has been in tells you that he certainly could have probably gone back out there. There was no evidence that would have said, well, he labored in the 7th inning or he ran into trouble in the 8th inning, and there was a lot of pressure behind those pitches because at 96, I felt like he had at least another 15 more.
Nobody knows the team better than Joe Maddon. Let's take a look at the 9th inning. So then the guys come in, and it's a little bit of a struggle for Grimm right out of the gate.
Well, it can be sometimes. You kind of get in that routine. I mean, look where these fastballs are. I mean, they're out over the plate. These are mistake pitches. They're behind in the count, and sometimes you just don't hit your rhythm. I mean, John Lester was in such a groove. This felt like a game that was completely the Cubs all game long, from the offensive perspective to John Lester doing his job. But when you make mistakes, it doesn't matter who you are. To big league hitters, you will pay the price. And these mistakes were out over the plate. That is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, folks. But that ball caught every bit of the plate on the inner third, and he gets turned around for a 3-run homer. This is a hanging slider. Again, another mistake out over the plate. Uses the fastball to get ahead, but unfortunately, hangs the slider, makes him pay for it. Now, here's where David Ross, really for me, shows you what he's all about and how he gets guys through things. We were talking about this as we were sitting here waiting for the postgame to start. We were thinking, fastball, fastball, fastball. Well, we see that slider again. David Ross made Rondon throw that slider again. He got him back into a groove. He wanted to get his confidence back right away, and I thought that was a great move by David Ross right there late in the ballgame. You saw him pick up a couple outs with that slider after hanging it and giving up the home run.
Cubs had the awesome homestand. Then they hit the road. They take their tracksuits. They go to Philadelphia. They set the tone for this game right out of the gate. They come out swinging in that first inning. Boy, that's been a trend with this team. Get on the board early and then let it snowball from there. Chris Bryant was inches away from 2 home runs in this game.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Swung the bat very, very well. I love the approach. He used his first 4 at-bats tonight, went the other way, and I thought that was such a great approach against the lefties, in particular Morgan. This is a guy who doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but does have some decent secondary pitches. You have to stay centered on him. You can't go up there hoping and thinking that he's going to challenge you in. So Chris Bryant does a fantastic job, drives that pitch away that he gets, and uses his off-field, nearly gets a home run.
I don't know why they don't have a yellow line out there for that call in the first place.
It's been that way for a lot of years, Luke. It's actually a very good point. I know that I've talked about it before.
And then the Phillies are out there looking like the bad news bears on that play, so the inning continues. Cubs had some opportunities, and Soler was hitting the ball well today when he had his opportunities as well. But the Cubs get to the point here where they get Baez, who did not have a great game today. He's had some really good games recently. This one was maybe a step back.
Well, it's very, very interesting. You know, you just heard me talk about Chris Bryant and what you saw using his off-field. Think back to yesterday and Javi Baez going the other way. Got a fastball in a situation where Corbin was making pitches yesterday against him, and guys were rolling over. You saw a lot of action over there at third base. I talked about it all during the postgame show yesterday. Making in-game adjustments. You saw a different version of Baez tonight. He wanted to get out for whatever reason. I don't know why, but again, he was leading with the barrel tonight, and you saw him kind of get out and around some baseballs. Where the difference is what you saw from Chris Bryant, the willingness to go the other way. That should have been the approach through the lineup, but when we show you the box score, and we're going to show it to you in a few minutes, what you're going to see is the separation between the two. Even Addison Russell was doing very much the same thing, kind of getting out and around baseballs, trying to pull on pitches that were intended to go the other way.
Jason Hayward's a guy that's been trying to flip that switch on this season, had some good stretches, then maybe a couple of bats that weren't good. Tonight you watch him set up by the pitch before in the 4th inning. He comes back with his 100th career home run. 2-0 slider. He chases it, and then the next pitch he's ready to go.
Him. Yeah, no, I don't know if he baited him. I just wanted to give him credit for that because, again, sometimes you can put yourself into a little bit of a predictable count right there. The 2-0 pitch was a slider away. It was off the outside corner. Well, what's Morgan do? He says, all right, well, he chases it once. Now, Morgan doesn't make his pitch. He misses back out over the plate. But that's the joy of sometimes lefty-lefty matchups. I know this because I did this a few times in my life, where, you get that pitch outside. You kind of set yourself up predictably for what you think you might get on the next pitch. And because he chased a bad slider, he bought himself another slider. Well, Morgan doesn't make the pitch, drives it out to right field.
7th inning, Cubs on the board again. Here's the guy, Dexter Fowler. Comes through with another hit. Remember, he started the game with a double, and he sets that tone right at the start of the game. He's been fantastic for the Cubs.
He's done a tremendous job. Somebody asked me just the other day, I think we actually had a poll question. I still will stand by my vote. I think Ben Zobrist actually won, and he certainly should as well because he's been outstanding. But Dexter Fowler, to me, has been the most consistent guy from start to finish so far this season as the Cubs picked up their 40th win tonight. You're seeing some of these highlights here, which has been a lot of fun. Execution, going the other way. Start with the base hit up the middle. Bryant goes the other way. Rizzo goes the other way. Caesar gets the bunt down. A lot of fun stuff. Caesar gets the opportunity because Soler has to come out of the ball game, and that is not easy to do, folks. Again, I did this for 4 years, coming in off the bench after 5 innings, kind of, just quick. Boom, you got to get out there. Guy goes down injured, jumps in there and comes up with a big sacrifice bunt right there, suicide squeeze.
Insurance in the ninth, and they kind of needed it. I thought Chris Bryant got all of this one.
Well, it certainly seemed like it, but every now and again you watch Chris, he'll get the little bit of topspin on the ball, and I'd be willing to bet that's probably what happened on this one. My reaction was much like yours. Whoa, that's got to be in the second deck, and you see it as it was moving so fast towards the top of that wall. Clearly had some topspin on it. Another great at-bat by Anthony Rizzo right there. That's that combination I talked to you about there at the Open where Chris Bryant did it, and Anthony Rizzo was kind of cleaning him up. So it was great to see tonight. Really, the top of this lineup was a lot of fun to watch because everybody was kind of feeding off each other. Dexter Fowler setting the table, Bryant doing his job. Jason Hayward has the big 2-run homer, and then Anthony Rizzo, by the way, who's been very, very hot after a cold stretch, really starting to swing that bat again.
Rizzo made it 6-0. We'll just pretend the game ended perfectly at that point,
right.
Even though they picked up the win at 6-4. But you talk about Jorge Soler. Here's a guy who made a couple of nice plays, had some nice at-bats. This catch was spectacular early in the game. He was playing good baseball.
Well, and I want to give him some credit for this. Again, this is some adjustments that I've seen him make. I've watched him drift on this ball an awful lot, and that's the wrong thing to do. You don't want to see it. He actually gives you a better effort getting back to the wall, gives himself a chance to catch that ball. That is always the key as an outfielder. If you want to rob a home run, kids at home, you got to give yourself a chance by getting back to the wall. What's the first thing we want to do? Well, we see the ball, and we don't want to take our eyes off the ball, and we just kind of start to drift back to where we think it's going to come down. Well, if you want to keep your eyes on the ball, you just get those legs working a little quicker because you have to give yourself an opportunity by getting back to the wall.
He absolutely rips this baseball, running down to first base. He pulls up. Cubs are saying it's a hamstring injury. Came out of the game. Had to bring in the substitution. We'll see how long he's out. It's unfortunate because he was hitting the ball pretty well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, just running into some tough luck in and out of the lineup a little bit. But you know what? He was on his game tonight, hustling out of the box. I mean, he really was. He was scooting down the first baseline, and you saw it in his face. I have to admit, I actually thought his gold chain might have popped him in a tooth or something. But unfortunately, it was a little bit more serious than that. It was a hamstring. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one and see what ends up coming out of it.
See, 318, the last 17 games, he's been good. All right, time for our Elk Grove pitching recap in this one. We talked about John Lester. Thought they might go after him. Phillies team, what do they have to lose? Why not bunt on Lester every single time? Why not force him to make that throw to first base? They couldn't hit him hardly all night. I thought every guy should come up bunting.
Well, you know what? This theory that everybody has, with this idea that, if we can bunt on John Lester. Well, you saw the Philadelphia Phillies execute it one time tonight, the actual one that will work. It's how you have to get the ball to John Lester. Everybody else is on their game. David Ross knows what's going on. Listen, they go into this game prepared for this stuff. See, that's the one right there. And David Ross is actually going to take accountability for this, but he's got really no reason to because this is John Lester's ball, as we all know. He just doesn't like to throw the ball to first base, plain and simple. But the bottom line is this. The Cubs have done a fantastic job coaching around this, what we'll call an issue for now. Rizzo knows what he needs to do. Bryant knows what he needs to do. David Ross knows what he needs to do. That is the only bunt that you can actually execute and get the result that you're looking for. So, again, unless you're willing to do that 3 or 4 times in a row, which I don't think anybody is, and if you were even to, I think John would change up his game plan. So you'd see tougher pitches to bunt on. You're not going to just see your traditional pitch down in the zone that he can ultimately get out there. So I don't know if it's as easy as everybody thinks it is because we've been talking about it for an awful long time. And, again, we got to tonight was the first example of somebody actually actually getting the ball far enough to where they can put it on John, where he has to feel that nobody else can do it, where he can't race the ball over to first and underhand it.
And he was spectacular on the mound. All right, time for our first break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We're coming right back. Don't forget, again, 100 tweets, and I will smash the Catman bobblehead. We're coming right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Looks like we missed most of the show.
Yeah, and there's no way to restart it.
With DirecTV, there is.
You see, we got the power to turn back time, so let's restart the show that started at 9. And while we're at it, let's give you back your due and give her back the guy she liked before you. Hey, that's the power to turn back time.
Get the ultimate all-included bundle. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
We are the Coors Brewing Company, and our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplanes.com.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
Call Adolescent Growth today and see how our proven treatment programs for eating disorders can begin to bring the sunshine back in the life of your teen and your family.
Please don't take my sunshine away.
We'll do our own thing the day we pitch. Go over. I like to just refresh myself.
For any of you listening that want to get David Ross's coffee one day, venti, skinny,
ice, caramel macchiato.
Okay, thank you.
Sign real quick. Yep, sure.
I greatly appreciate it.
No problem. You guys are here early.
Wednesday on Pre-Game Live, Kelly Kroll goes on the road with David Ross in St. Louis as the Cubs take on their rivals. A behind-the-scenes look at his preparation on a day that he is starting. Cubs Pre-Game Live, Wednesday at 11:30 a.m., only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Cubs win 6-4. Time now for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot? Who's not? Who's hot? Mike Trout. 321, 5 homers. Who's not? Joey Votto. 40 strikeouts. 19 for his last 122.
Ooh, not good.
Nah, that's not very good. Welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Honda winning box score for you tonight. It's the Cubs box score. Look at this. Hits up and down. 13 hits for the Cubs in this one. They bring the lumber with them to Philadelphia along with their tracksuits. Right at the top, Dexter Fowler, 3 hits, setting the table.
Including a hit by pitch. Yep, 3 for 4. Did a fantastic job. Well, you see right there, we're going to move on from that. It was a little top-heavy there. I wanted to throw congratulations out to Jason Hayward. His 100th career home run. That's a big moment for him.
How important is it, though, when you have a guy like Dexter hitting over 400 to lead off a game? When a guy can set the table like that, I mean, you're talking about a hit to start the game. over 40% of the time.
You're right. I mean, it just really sets the tone for your offense. I mean, everybody watches what Dexter's doing, only because you're at the same time watching Dexter's at bat and watching what your starting pitcher, your opposing starting pitcher's got that day. And when Dexter's been doing so consistently this year, getting on base, putting together good at bats, hitting the ball square right when the game starts, it puts everybody in a great frame of mind. This is doable. This guy's velocity is attainable. You know what I mean? All of those things. When he turns around 95, 96, which you've seen him do before and done all season long, it just gets everybody in the right frame of mind. So really, you know, we look at the end result. We say he's 3 for 4. He gets hit by a pitch. He's on base 4 times, and now he's running around all over the bases. But you know what? He's calming the offense down, the dugout down. That's exactly what you're doing. I was on a couple good teams with some great leadoff hitters, and that's what they did. It just kind of sets the tone for the day, gets everybody in the right frame of mind.
All right, Cubs did some damage today, a 6-4 win against the Phillies. The demolition crew is here trying to get us some safety goggles. Little Cap is in trouble. We're coming back on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield.
To the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
You do all this research on the perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
There's a sound a ball makes when it catches nothing but net. Everyone loves that sound, that precision. At GMC, we get that. Nothing separates the men from the boys like nothing but net. This is the precision of professional grade. Now get 15% below MSRP on select GMC Acadia vehicles in stock. That's over $7,800 below MSRP on this GMC Acadia Denali.
Centenario. 4 incredible matches at Soldier Field. Get your tickets at ca2016.com.
From the first building block to the last coat of paint, Menards is here to help. Get an 11% rebate on everything in the store, including thousands of sale items. Get an 11% rebate on our entire selection of energy-efficient Richmond water heaters. Choose from electric or gas models. Never run out of hot water again. Plus, get an 11% rebate on everything, even sale prices, now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Smooth to the core. Crown Royal Regal Apple flavored whiskey.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with the Cubs checking and official Cubs Master credit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Smash the bobblehead.
Time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the game. Todd?
All right, 4th, 5th, 6th. One key tonight, really, it was just keying in on Adam Morgan's struggles this year. 4th inning, 7.55 ERA. 5th inning, 15.75, 6th inning, 12. Now listen, we racked up some damage late. We got a 2-run homer from Hayward, so thankfully he backed me up tonight. But again, there were some serious opportunities against Morgan in those middle innings.
Cubs win 6-4. More post-game live after a quick timeout.
Smash the bobblehead.
Something doesn't feel right.
Green lights across the board. What's going on up there?
No backup system. Houston, I'm flying solo here.
Does he have it?
I'm on it. Re-entry in 3, 2, 1.
Thanks. for the care package, Houston. Dinner's on me. Just another day in the rocket biz. Oh, fudge nuggets.
Kenneth, are they closing the stage this afternoon for auditions? What's on that piece of paper?
Oh, Miss Maroney, your forehead.
Should not be doing anything. I just had Botox.
I know exactly what's happening.
Whoa!
This is a bad streaming experience.
The Girly Show is a real fun ladies show.
Don't let bad streaming ruin a good show.
Don't look at me!
Only Verizon has the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. Can your network say that? Switch now, buy 2 Samsung phones, and get a free Samsung 50-inch smart TV. Only on America's best network.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
Online check?
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Save time every time. Download the online check-in app today. Great clips. It's gonna be...
Won't miss that. Won't miss that. Won't miss that. Won't miss that.
I will too miss that.
No, you won't miss that. When you move with DirecTV, your favorite entertainment goes with you from coast to coast on all your devices. Now keep moving. The DirecTV Movers Deal, now with bundles and equipment upgrades too. Call and ask about all the benefits today.
This is an important medical alert. The FDA has recently issued a public health advisory for all people taking the type 2 diabetes drug Invokana. The warning states that Invokana may lead to diabetic ketoacidosis. Symptoms of ketoacidosis include difficulty breathing, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, confusion, and unusual fatigue or sleepiness. In more severe cases, Invokana has led to organ failure, coma, or even death. Call Invokana Alert now.
Call 800-262-0993.
Welcome back to Cubs Post Game Live. The people have spoken.
Bam!
Down goes Kaplan.
Oh,
he
my.
is out.
Out cold.
Kyle Hendricks on the mound tomorrow against the Phillies. Looking for another good outing from him.
Well, why not? That changeup's going to be outstanding. And again, this is a lineup that I really do believe he can negotiate and get his way through. Again, using the accelerator with the fastball, the changeup as the break, and I think, that, again, like I said, great results.
Little Cappy. Sorry about that, buddy. All right, thanks for watching Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Sportsnet Central is next with Mark and Layla.
How are we supposed to follow that up?
You know, I'm a little disappointed. After all that buildup, that's all we got. No fists, no pieces flying everywhere.
Perhaps we need to revisit this. You know what? That didn't happen to the Cubs. Welcome to Sportsnet Central. Alongside Mark Shanowski, I'm Layla Rahimi. The show is presented by GMC. The Phillies made it interesting, but John Lester tosses another gem. The Cubs continue their winning ways, and we have a bobblehead we need to go fix.
Yeah, and get on social media. We're going to smash a Ryan Howard bobblehead by the end of the show. Actually, I don't even think we have one. We'll have to find one. White Sox get a chance to rest and regroup before starting a new homestand against the Nationals tomorrow. The Bears draft class now all signed, sealed, and delivered. It's all straight ahead on Sportsnet Central.
Take cover.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
John Lester with a tough act to follow tonight in Philadelphia. His last start, how about a complete game 4-hitter against the Los Angeles Dodgers? NBA legend Charles Barkley taking some cuts before the game off Cubs bullpen coach Lester Strode. We knew he wouldn't have too much success there. The Cubs hitters, though, they had some success in the first. Dexter Fowler at second after a leadoff double. Chris Bryant drives one to the opposite field, almost gets out, misses leaving the yard by a matter of inches. Take another look. After a long review, it's called fan interference, which means Bryant has to go from third back to second on a ground rule double. Joe Madden not happy, but the run still counts. Cubs lead 1-0. Bottom of the first, Cubs playing some outfield defense. Tommy Joseph Skies one deep to left. Jorge Soler goes up against the fence and robs him of extra bases. Take another look. Soler then maybe taunts the crowd just a bit, flips it over his head and into the bleachers. Nice catch there by Jorge. But unfortunately, his night will come to an end early. Top of the third, Soler rips a single into the left field corner, but he comes up lame at first. A left hamstring injury. Soler immediately pulled from the game. He'll have an MRI done tomorrow. And he does have a history of leg injuries. Hopefully, this one is not serious. Top of the fourth inning, Lester pitching extremely well. He also swung the bat very well in this game. He gets a hold of an Adam Morgan fastball and surprises the right fielder over his head all the way to the wall. Lester has no thoughts of going to third for a triple. The Cubs dugout loving that smash. 2 batters later, Jason Hayward allows him to walk home.
Drilled to right and deep, and it's gone. And it's the 100th career homer for Jason Hayward. He has tied David Ross.
Good to see Jason Hayward starting to heat up. Cubs lead it 3-0 after Hayward's third long ball of the year. More offense in the 7th inning. 2 runners aboard for Anthony Rizzo. And this time he beats the shift, slaps a little run-scoring single to left. It's now 4-0 Cubs. Matt Caesar called on to take place of the injured Soler. Drops down a perfectly placed bunt. Bryant reads it, scores on the safety squeeze, so it's now 5-0 in favor of the Cubs. And Lester able to go into cruise control with that huge lead. After allowing 3 hits in the 2nd inning alone, he didn't allow a Philly base runner until the 7th. Scatters 4 hits while fanning 9 and walking no one. Lester does not toss consecutive complete games, though. The Cubs decide to lift him after 8 innings. And it's a good thing they got those insurance runs late. Things got a bit interesting in the bottom of the 9th. Justin Grimm gives up a 3-run homer here to Freddie Galvis. That made it 6-3. Madden goes to the bullpen, calls for his closer Hector Rondon, and he gets tagged for a long ball. Joseph, the long drive to center field, that's going to get out. All of a sudden, it's uh-oh time in Philly. 6-4 ball game. Ryan Howard represents the tying run, but he smashes one to first, and that will end it. Cubs hang on after a very adventurous 9th inning. 6-4 is your final. Let's send it over to our post-game live team. Luke Stuckmeyer, Todd Hollinsworth. Guys?
All right, thank you very much. A great outing for Jon Lester. He becomes the first Cubs pitcher to go 9 strikeouts, no walks in back-to-back games since Rich Harden. He was great in this game.
Well, as I talked about in the post-game show, it's really the one thing that stands out to me in Jon Lester is what he does right around home plate. We can call it late movement, but again, it's that go zone. You watch the Phillies hitters all night tonight kind of pick up pitches that they thought were very hittable, that were going to be out over the plate, and then start to disappear. You see it right there. Fantastic slider, worked in the slow curveball, had his fastball working, but once he got that lead, as he traditionally does, he starts to dial up the low zone. Work that cutter inside. But again, when he needed to get the outs, and particularly the strikeouts, you saw that slider, that slow slider out over the plate, and you saw this, well, somewhat young Phillies lineup really expand their strike zone. You saw a lot of frustrated looks, not a lot of hard contact. You had a couple deep fly balls. That's about it against Jon Lester. He was in complete control, and as I said again in the post-game show, probably could have gone back out for the night.
Starting rotation really pushing each other. These guys have been spectacular. You go back to the homestand, every single game, 3 runs or less. Lester continues that again in this one. It seems like when one guy does it, the next one wants to repeat it.
Well, I mean, again, you know, guys in a rotation, they talk about competing against each other, and I'm sure they've got all sorts of games that they're playing, whether it's ERA games or hitting and different things that guys like to do in the rotation. It's kind of like its own little team, but you're absolutely right. These guys are just pushing themselves to be better the next day. And that, to me, is not only just going out and being yourself and executing your pitches, but also dissecting the other team. And that's, to me, what has been so impressive. What Jon Lester did successfully tonight, you're going to see Kyle in his version go out tonight. Talking about changing speeds, as I did, that slow slider that he was using out over the plate. Think Kyle Hendricks tomorrow and the changeup in the same situation. So not only are they doing playing and competing against each other in that rotation, they're feeding each other with knowledge of the other team, how they're getting each other out, and pitches how to execute them.
Other positives in this game, Jason Hayward. He's trying to get on track, and he really set himself up for this home run with the pitch before it, right?
Well, kind of, sort of. You know, it's one of those where you talk about it, you know, secondhand. He'll tell you after. It's not what you do intentionally. Now, he chases a bad one on the 2-0 pitch. You see it right there, and you say, all right, well, I've shown I've got the willingness that I'll chase a slider. Morgan understands that and recognizes it, but it shows you that pitchers don't put the ball where they want every time. It seems like our rotation does, but maybe not everybody else's rotation. Jason Hayward gets himself another slider. This one out over the plate. He's able to go out, get those long arms extended, and drive it out of the yard for his 100th home run. Oh, and by the way, I mean, that's really your cushion in this ball game right there. That was a 1-0 ball game mid-innings.
They needed that home run, and they needed the run they got in the 9th inning as well. Meanwhile, the one negative for this game, certainly Jorge Soler. He had a couple of hits in the game, made a great catch in the outfield, but when he leaves with the injury, and it's a leg injury, you're hoping those MRI results are good because that leg has been something that's bothered him.
Yeah, it has traditionally, and I really do hope that it's something that they got to just in the nick of time. You see him pull up right there. This wasn't where, you know, sometimes you'll see a guy busting it down the line, trying to leg out an infield hit, and they go all out and they make it a severe injury. Hopefully that's not the case. We don't know quite yet, but again, certainly concerning. Anytime you see Soler start to heat up, you get excited because you know he can be the answer and the everyday answer in this outfield. He hasn't put himself in that position because of the consistency. Off to a great start in this ball game. 2 hits up the middle, pulled another one, had a great catch in the outfield. And, you know, we all talk about it this way. You know, we start thinking Soleros, man, as I did. That was kind of my gimmick. You know, and seeing him to get going, unfortunately, going to be derailed by this injury, at least in the short term.
Team depth is big for the Cubs. We'll see if that continues moving forward. They have now won 40 games this season. You see Soler the last 17 games, a .318 batting average. He was heating up. We'll see what happens when we get that MRI news. Cubs send Kyle Hendricks to the mound against the Phillies on Tuesday. We'll send it back over to you.
All right, Luke, protect your desk. He's got a desk full of bobbleheads, and Cap's back at work tomorrow. Time for our GMC Professional Grade Player. We're going with Jason Hayward, who you heard belted his 100th career homer tonight. Just his 3rd of the season, but it certainly helped on the way to a 6-4 victory over the Phillies. And as we showed you earlier, former Philly fan favorite Charles Barkley making a rare visit to the ballpark. Barkley showing his batting eye isn't a whole lot better than his golf game before tonight's Cubs-Phillies contest. And the popular TNT analyst said he really wanted to come there to meet the Cubs skipper.
I want to meet Joe Madden. Yes, I got a chance to meet him. I got to hang out with Rick Sutcliffe. He makes me feel skinny. Yeah, his nickname is Slim. I'm trying to figure out why.
I have to admit that the real star here is Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't believe me, if you look in the dictionary, one of the definitions of the word star is a self-contained mass of gas.
No. First of all, America, you can look at this TV right now. Rick Sutcliffe says he's 6'7". Really? Really? You're 6'7"?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5". And if you notice, we're the same height.
You uphill. Now it's trying. Oh, now.
See, Rick Sutcliffe's right. Rick says he's 6'7".
He's getting on me about my weight.
One of us is lying.
Hey.
Oh, good times in Philly, huh? Well, the Bears have locked up their entire 2016 draft class thanks to signing defensive lineman Jonathan Bullard. Bullard is a 3rd-round pick out of Florida and was picked 72nd overall. The Bears announced the deal is for 4 years. Bullard played in 50 games as a Gator and started 36 of them. Well, first it was Aaron Rodgers' Oscars outfit with Olivia Munn. And in this episode of Random Things That Cause NFC North Teams to Talk Noise on Twitter, the Packers tweeted a picture of lightning striking at Lambeau Field, which prompted the Lions to point out what they thought it looked like, the Detroit Lions logo. And since it was lightning, the Chargers naturally had to chime in.
That was impressive. That did look like the Detroit Lions helmet logo. Well, the power of social media definitely in evidence during tonight's Cubs postgame live. Luke Stuckmeyer filling in for the Catman, taking a rare day off.
That's right, and anything goes when Luke is hosting a show, as we have seen before. Does Halloween ring a bell? And he asked for the viewers' help in making a decision about Cap's bobblehead.
Hey, little buddy, see how little buddy? Now, if folks want to tweet into @Luke Stuckmeyer or Todd Hollinsworth on Twitter, we get 100 of those. I will smash the bobblehead before the end of the show. Welcome back to Cubs Post Game Live. The people have spoken.
Bam!
Down goes Kaplan.
Oh,
he
my.
is out.
Out cold.
Little Cappy. Sorry about that, buddy.
I mean, he knocked him out of his shoes.
Yeah, kind of went halfway. We're waiting for the fist to come down, like Thor's hammer. We'll see if we can do better in a full half hour. Sportsnet Central coming up next. Stay with us.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh, no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up, just like at Mobile Phone Park.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends, too.
There's a long drive, and it's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook, just 25 minutes southwest of Chicago.
This is how you'll look when you shop at DXL. But this is how you'll feel. All the brands you love, waist size 38 and up, all in one awesome store. DXL, you're looking good.
Quiet on the set, take 73. What? It's a... Saving big is no laughing matter. At the Bob Roman Auto Group, over 7,000 new and used cars online at bobrorman.com.
There's only one Bob Roman.
Another sleepless night? You tossed, you turned, your mind raced. And when you finally closed your eyes, it was time to open them again.
I need my 5-hour.
Great idea. A 5-hour energy shot can give you enough energy when you don't get enough sleep. Now is the time for 5-hour energy.
It's the Backyard Bash event at American Sale. Right now, get up to 50% off everything you need for your summer fun. Plus, get 0% financing for 4 years. Or take another 10% off our already low sale prices. Lowest prices are always guaranteed and free delivery to Chicagoland. Turn your backyard into a dream backyard. Save big at the Backyard Bash event. Going on now at American Sale. 9 Chicagoland locations. American Sale. Bring the fun home.
And it's the 100th career homer for Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward hits the century mark as the Cubs open a 9-game road trip in Philadelphia. Welcome into Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Alongside Layla Rahimi, I'm Mark Shanowski.
All good things must come to an end, and Jake Arrieta's unbeaten streak, unfortunately, did as well, coming to a close yesterday. We go inside the numbers of his remarkable run. The White Sox get a much-needed day off after getting swept out of Detroit. But how much blame falls on Robin Ventura? And does Rick Hahn have any more big moves up his sleeve?
Plus, we'll look at a pair of NBA prospects that just might be on the Bulls' radar as we get closer to the June 23rd draft. Sir Charles never afraid to embarrass himself, and neither are we. Sportsnet Central starts now.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
You just watched it here on Comcast Sportsnet. John Lester taking the mound in Philadelphia, coming off a complete game 4-hitter against the Dodgers in his last outing. NBA legend Charles Barkley, well, he stopped by, took some cuts before the game off Cubs bullpen coach Lester Strode. Thankfully, Cubs hitters had better luck than Charles in the first. Dexter Fowler already at second base after a leadoff double. Chris Bryant drives one to the opposite field. The ball nearly gets out, misses leaving the yard by a matter of inches. After a lengthy replay review, it's ruled fan interference. The fan made contact with the ball. Bryant sent back to second on a ground rule double. The run still scores, though. Cubs lead 1-0, but they left the bases loaded in that inning. Bottom of the first, how about some defense? Tommy Joseph skies one deep to left field. Jorge Soler goes back up against the wall. He pulls it in. taking away extra bases from Joseph, and then Soler flips the ball into the stands just for good measure. Surprised the Philly fans didn't throw it back at him. Not all fun and games for Jorge in this one, though. Top of the third, he rips a single in the left field corner, but then as he's rounding first, comes up lame with what's being called a left hamstring injury. He'll get an MRI done tomorrow. Soler immediately pulled from the game. Hopefully this is not a serious injury. Top of the fourth inning, Jon Lester pitching extremely well, also swinging the bat very well for a guy who's not had much success at the plate. He gets a hold of an Adam Morgan fastball, drives it into the right field gap, and Lester says, you know what, 2 bases is just fine with me. The Cubs dugout is loving it, and they're loving what happens next. Jason Hayward at the plate.
Drilled to right and deep, and it's gone. And it's the 100th career homer for Jason Hayward. He has tied David Ross.
Jason Hayward really starting to heat up. Cubs lead 3-0 after his 3rd homer of the year. More offense in the 7th inning. Cubs with 2 runners aboard for Anthony Rizzo. And he beats the shift there, a run-scoring single to left field, and makes it 4-0 in favor of the visitors. Matt Caesar came in to play left field in place of Soler. Joe Madden calling for the safety squeeze, and Caesar gets the job done. Chris Bryant reads the play perfectly. He's in easily, 5-0 in favor of the Cubs. And with that comfortable lead, Lester just went into cruise control. He allowed 3 hits alone in the 2nd inning, but then didn't allow a Philly base runner until the 7th. Lester scatters 4 hits, struck out 9, didn't walk anybody. He does not get a consecutive complete game, though. Cubs decide to lift him after 8 innings, which is probably a good practical decision. And it was also good they added on those insurance runs. Bottom of the 9th, Justin Grimm allows a 3-run homer to Freddie Galvis and makes it 6-3. So now a save chance for Hector Rondon. But he makes Cub fans a little bit nervous. He serves up a home run to dead center field for Joseph. All of a sudden, it's uh-oh time, 6-4 in favor of the Cubs. Ryan Howard now representing the tying run. A hard smash to first, but Rizzo gloves it and steps on the bag. Cubs are able to hang on after a very adventurous bottom of the 9th inning. Rondon does pick up the save. 6-4 is the final. But back to Jon Lester. As we mentioned, he struck out 9, did not walk anyone. His last start against the Dodgers, struck out 10 without a walk. He's the first Cubs lefty in the modern era, which would be since 1900, to strike out at least 9 batters without a walk in consecutive starts. For more on Lester's performance, we send it over to our Cubs post-game live team, Luke Stuckmeyer and Todd Hollandsworth.
All right, thank you very much. A great outing for Jon Lester. He becomes the first Cubs pitcher to go 9 strikeouts, no walks in back-to-back games since Rich Harden. He was great in this game.
Well, as I talked about in the post-game show, it's really the one thing that stands out to me in Jon Lester is what he does right around home plate. We can call it late movement, but again, it's that go zone. You watch the Phillies hitters all night tonight kind of pick up pitches that they thought were very hittable, that were going to be out over the plate, and then start to disappear. You see it right there. Fantastic slider, worked in the slow curveball, had his fastball working, but once he got that lead, as he traditionally does, he starts to dial up the low zone. Work that cutter inside. But again, when he needed to get the outs, and particularly the strikeouts, you saw that slider, that slow slider out over the plate, and you saw this, well, somewhat young Phillies lineup really expand their strike zone. You saw a lot of frustrated looks, not a lot of hard contact. You had a couple deep fly balls. That's about it against Jon Lester. He was in complete control, and as I said again in the post-game show, probably could have gone back out for the night.
Starting rotation really pushing each other. These guys have been spectacular. You go back to the homestand,